was a beautiful movement that took place right about the time when you were playing around on YouTube. You know, the Q movement, right? The Q movement, and everybody was, listen, I went to the Q boards and I found news stories that were buried. And I would cover a news story. And then I would tell everybody, hey, guess what, everybody? Guess where I got that news story from? I got it on the Q board. I would have never found this. So call me a Q-tard. But the sharing of information, the information was going up on those boards. Now, of course, it got hijacked, but I want you to comment on that. The Q movement was huge, was it not?
It was, and it kind of it parlayed a little bit off of some of the momentum of this thing called Cicada 3301 that was before it, which is like a puzzle game, right? Where you're getting the clues and kind of figuring out these puzzles online. And it also drew some inspiration from the WikiLeaks task force and from the Anonymous movement. So the Anonymous movement, if you think about it, is like this amorphous tribe of hackers of all levels. So everyone from beginners to super cyber ninjas, and it's this ever-changing group of people, right? People coming in, people coming out, people from all over the world, and the intelligence services, they use this thing, right? So they allow this to exist, this amorphous, I would say, bundle of hacking energy at all levels from all different sorts of places. That's an ever-changing group, and they come in and they operationalize it at targets when they would like to, right? They have agents embedded in there, and then they kind of operationalize it and shoot it at various targets from time to time. And it's a good way for the intelligence services to essentially have attribution be elsewhere besides them, right? Because if it's like, you're getting hacked straight from the CIA over there at Langley, it's very obvious, as opposed to there's just this, anonymous movement on the internet that's coming at you right now. So the QAnon thing was like, had a lot of energy, and it was prime for that. And I think a lot of people on there, right, there was varying degrees. There's people like you that kind of took it with a grain of sand, but found the good parts and moved forward with that, and all the way over to the people who really got super duper into it and treated every single word kind of like it was a religion, right? And obviously there was some stuff on there that wasn't true. Said that Hillary Clinton was going to be arrested in 2017. There's other things that weren't panning out, right? But essentially it was this game, this drip nurture campaign game that was designed to create this massive energy and movement towards researching and towards creating our own sort of fifth generation warfare, right? Commenting in the comments feeds, pushing back on stuff, right? Having a bunch of people to be doing that. And it was very effective at the time. It had all kinds of various people that you would not think that would be a part of that, like all the various weird tribes from the internet, my tribe included. And so what I was doing in 2020 is I was trying to, right, this board was kind of like hinting around a lot of these topics, right? But it was very vague. It was never being super clear. So I was putting together this YouTube style, right? So this zany, kind of like humorous, kind of wild YouTube channel where I was trying to connect the dots here of what is the big picture. And I was gonna, as I was gaining momentum, I went from 0 to, I think I had 1 million views in the first 6 weeks on that channel. So it was blowing up quick. And so we're trying to, operationalize the crowd and move it towards, objectives that need to get done. And so not everybody was a fan of my antics. I kind of had the, everybody's got TikTok brain, right? You got a few seconds of people's attention. So you got to be wild. You kind of got to be entertaining, kind of be funny. And so I had my YouTube show, and then I had the documents kind of backing it up in this file sharing archive. And so it was like, okay, so if you're not a fan of this type of entertainment, here's the files you can kind of see. And that was with the Amorphous Archive and some of those other things. And this the CIA called that file sharing company that was hosting it while I was on YouTube and demanded that be taken down. And so they did, even though I paid for a year in advance. And essentially what happened was I called for a phone call and email campaign against this company. Where I told people, I didn't say go there. I didn't say like harm anyone, be violent. I said make phone calls and emails, protest this company. Something that many other groups across the political spectrum do all the time. And they did. They got thousands of phone calls and emails that week. And a few days later, I had an FBI SWAT team raid my house, take my devices, destroy them, throw me in prison, charge me with all these BS charges. And so it was a pretty wild experience.
Why do you think they pursued you in the fashion that they did?
They were one of the SWAT guys that was arresting me at the time. He said that I watched your videos and you're pretty much right about all that stuff. So my theory is, one, I was effectively operationalized, like turning just kind of like this amorphous momentum on the internet into like real life operational momentum. Also, I had pulled their pants down and made them look really stupid when I did that stuff at the military bases and at the Intel factory. And I was, doing bits about it on my channel. So obviously they were very embarrassed. One of which was they had sent me the core configuration script to one of the like main routers at Luke Air Force Base, like the thing with all the passwords and firewall settings. They had sent that to my Yahoo email address without any vetting, without any security clearance, without any non-disclosure. So I was putting that out there, and they went and they actually did try to prosecute me for that, and they realized, oh, damn, we can't do that. We actually did mess up, and we didn't, cover our ass here. So I think there was a lot of animus kind of rolled into one thing, and they ended up just getting me on these frivolous charges of wire fraud and extortion, which had to do with the phone call and email campaign.
Let's listen to this clip.
Spooks and robber barons love using hooky spooky satanic symbology, especially British and American spooks and robber barons. They are the hookiest spookies out there. They like to dress up in druid costumes and hold ceremonies in the woods and stuff. Just ask Anderson Cooper. When he was little, it was like Halloween every day at his house.
Yep, so that's a good example of kind of the zany, like humorous,
It was so
kind
awesome.
of just like style of the show, right? Describing some of these things.
It was masterful. It was. And that's a great example of what I came to enjoy when I first landed on your channel. And then I opened up the Amorphous archives, and there was a lot of stuff in there.